Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Yes, it's time again for the nation's favourite music show on the airways. It's nothing but good vibes here. Yes, of course, it is Be Here Now with J France Soul and Reggae Hour. And on today's show is another very special guest episode where we feature someone within the music industry who comes on to tell you their favourite ska and reggae and favourite soul tunes, and also to sit down and have a little chat with me about their music career. Now, I first met this artist on our last Jewelers tour on our Swindon show, where she was supporting the Jewelers, and she come on and she done an amazing job. And the band sounded tight. She's got some really cool original tunes as well. So I'll be sitting down with her, chatting to her about her new album and life on the road. So I hope you enjoy this episode, people. And also, she's a fellow Londoner as well. So I'm South East London and she's North West London. So no divide here. It's all love. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this episode. And of course, keeping on.
Like the farmer said to the potato, I go and plant you, I wanna see you later.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Emily Capell, and thank you very much for doing this today. And it's really nice to see you. Emily has got an album coming out next year. She's also done some shows with myself with the Jewelers as well. She's got a great sound. I'm going to let her talk a little bit about what she does, and then we're going to get into some of her song choices. So, hello, Emily.
Hello. Are you all right?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Like I said, thank you very much for doing this as well, and taking the time out to do this. And so could you just tell me a little bit about your music history and your band, really?
So I've been doing this probably like similar to you, like since I was about 14. Just like we're lucky enough to live in London, so we can do the open mic scene. I started doing the open mic scene when I was 14. And then I met my band. And since then, we had 3 EPs. We did the Smiley Culture EP, the Winston Silcott EP, and the Latasha Harlins EP. And just before COVID, like just before, we released our debut album, Combat Frock. And we just were able to kind of tour it before COVID hit. And then the other end of COVID, we finished the tour. I've just been off on tour with Madness. We just supported Madness. I supported the Jewelers last year, and at the moment we're recording our second album, so that'll be out either the end of this year or the beginning of next.
Really cool. And what was the name of that album as well? The last one, was it Combat Frock? Did you say?
Combat Frock, yeah. Like
cool. I love the name.
Thank you.
Yeah. So are you a Clash fan as well? I can hear some Joe Strummer influence in there as well.
Yeah, I'm a massive Clash fan. So yeah, naming an album was the hardest thing ever. So Combat Frock's kind of cheating. No,
I think it's really cool. It's cheeky. It's a bit of a nod. It's a bit of a nod to kind of the Clash as well. And I think it's a really good good idea and stuff. I know that kind of Amy Winehouse with the Beehive thing. I'm gonna talk about it straight away in the interview.
Get in early.
Get in early. Yeah. Obviously, like it is like a striking look as well. So it's really cool. So is that a nod to Amy Winehouse as well? Or is this your kind of like a style that you've always played with, or is it?
I've kind of always done it. My singing teacher was a lady called Mary Wilson, and she was a singer in the 80s, and she had a full head hive, so everything up. And I kind of started doing it because she did it. And then I got really into the Ronettes and like the Phil Spector girl group kind of thing. And that was kind of at the same time as Amy when she was releasing. So yeah, and obviously I love Amy Winehouse. I kind of, when you first start out, a lot of people say you need a look and you need an image and you need a look. And I really regret doing a beehive now because they're so annoying.
A lot of maintenance, yeah.
Oh my gosh, they're so annoying. You can't go anywhere when it's windy. You can't go anywhere when it's too hot. I can't have fans on stage. Like, you know how hot it gets on stage. I can't have fans on. My hair will blow away. So yeah, they're I kind of wish I'd have gone for like, I don't know, a bob or just a hat, anything else than this. But I'm stuck with it now, and I don't mind. It's fine.
And how did you meet your band and your musicians and stuff? Like, I've obviously played with you myself as well. Really tight band as well. Different kind of sounds coming in there as well. You got the ska thing. You got a little bit of rock and roll as well, and some of the tunes as well. You know, like it's a right retro kind of sound as well. Did you work with the band? Did you work with them quite a lot to develop that sound as well?
We had a residency at the Dublin Castle.
All right, cool.
Yeah, pub in North
there.
London. Yeah, everybody has. It's the most disgusting venue.
But
we love it. We love it. It's gross. And I kind of met them there. We played weekly there, so every week we worked and developed our sound. Kind of that was. Sometimes it wasn't like the busiest residency, but it was quite good to like use it as a rehearsal almost to like work on our sound and figure out.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of my first ever venues I played actually. When I was about. Because I used to play the drums before the guitar and the vocals, and I was a drummer for a band called MOT, and they played the Dublin Castle quite a lot, and they had that kind of ska, kind of madness kind of sound as well. And it was MOT, I think, stands for Musicians of Tottenham, and they was in them pubs and stuff, and then like to do the gig and then go home and that, and like you said, it's got that really kind of gritty feel to it as well, which is. When a venue gets right,
I know. I played the 100 Club after the pandemic, and they cleaned it up. And it was like, what have they done to the 100? Like the 100 Club is supposed to be disgusting.
I agree.
They really cleaned it up, and like the backstage is usually loads of graffiti, and they'd like cleaned it all, and it was like, no, this is supposed to be gross. But yeah, so the Dublin Castle is a venue that's kind of like it's a bit like that, I think.
Yeah, we get down to the 100 Club and mess it up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. So we're here with Emily Capell, and Emily, like what we like to do on this show, we like to have a listen to some of your influences, and I've asked you to choose some of your soul choices and some of your reggae choices and ska choices. So if you could just let us know what your first song choice is, and then talk a little bit about it, and then what it means to you, and introduce the tune.
So my first song choice is going to be Put Yourself in My Place by Delroy Wilson. I believe this is off Tighten Up Volume 2, which is the greatest collection of reggae songs ever. I also know the Motown cover. And I just really, really love this song. I picked this song. It's nice because it's obviously it's steady, it's reggae. But yeah, this is my favourite off Tighten Up Volume 2. So this is Delroy Wilson.
Ooh, baby, put yourself in my place, only for a day. See if you can stand this loneliness I feel inside. And when you lose a liquor, sleep at night, cause it not to feel right, then you know Onyx are sad. Sitting by the telephone, feeling yourself all alone, then you know what I'm feeling there. Put yourself in my place, only for a day. See if you can stand this loneliness I feel inside. Ooh, baby, put yourself in my place, only for a day. See if you can stand this loneliness I feel inside. Cause it got to feel right, then you know how it's a sad. Sitting by the inside. Put yourself in my place.
What did I say again?
Are you all good?
Okay, my camera's rolling.
Let's go.
And I'm rolling.
So Emily, when have you...
Scene 2, take 5.
I never feel secure when listening to the doors. I'm running myself a hot bath. And if the water runs cold, my little heart of gold will be all alone and in the dark. I had a quick word with your papa last night. He said it's sad to see I'm so behind. Why don't I find myself a rented property and I can get it all for a reasonable fee? But I'm not sure in no shoes indoors. And what if it floods and the bailiffs come? The key don't fit the lock and I'll have to get a job. I said I'll just find a footballer to marry me. Build myself up an internet following and try to keep my feelings at bay. I learn about some free kicks and volleying and I'll fight the first team away.
So we're back with Emily and talking all things ska, reggae and soul. And what is your first soul choice, Emily?
My first soul choice is Solomon Burke, Got to Get You Off of My Mind. I found out about Solomon Burke from the Dirty Dancing soundtrack.
Yes,
So,
amazing. I love
I don't know,
Cry
is
to
that
Me,
cool?
right?
Yes,
No,
yes,
no,
yes,
no.
yes.
It's very cool. Like
Okay.
in my
okay.
function band, I do I do a cover of Cry to Me. I love it.
Oof,
I love it.
That's a strong cover. I
Yeah.
love Cry to Me. I was nearly going to pick Cry to Me because it's got like a really cool boom boom boom.
Yeah,
Boom, boom. It's like a
definitely.
really cool. It's so Dirty Dancing. But this track actually to your left, I think you've got that Atlantic Soul record.
Yeah.
Next
Okay,
to
cool.
you.
Yeah, Atlantic Soul. Yeah, yeah.
That one there. I think it's
That's
on
right.
there.
Oh,
I think
really?
It's on that. Yeah. It's on that. There's either that one's got a green top and the other one I've got a blue top. I think it's on there.
This is actually a little story on this one. My dad
Oh,
used
no.
to be a DJ at the Hammersmith Apollo, and he had loads of record collections and stuff. And when he
Yeah.
passed, he left us some records and stuff. So this is why I always have this on the wall, kind of
Oh,
thing, you know. And this is
wow.
one of the original ones that he used to use
Oh,
as
no
well. So, and it's
way.
strange that you were saying about that song's on there. It's the law of attraction all coming together there.
It's so weird when I logged on and I saw you, I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I was going through yesterday to look for songs for this.
Wow.
But yeah, but this is it's definitely it's either on that one or the one with the blue. But I've got to get you off my mind. Just because it swings nice, it's got that nice kind of soul. And Solomon Burke, man, the coolest guy ever. So
Yeah.
I knew I had to pick one of his songs, and that this one kind of just pitched it over Cry to Me.
Just
because
pitched
I think,
it.
Yeah, everybody knows Cry to Me because of Dirty Dancing, so I wanted to go a little bit.
Yeah, I was intrigued actually when I listened to that because, like you just said, that's the first song you go to, Solomon Burke. And
Yeah.
you chose a different one, so it was, it's nice.
Cool.
Cool.
thank
So,
you.
do you want to just introduce this one then?
So this is Solomon Burke with Got to Get You Off My Mind.
Got to get you off of my mind. I know it's just a matter of time. You found somebody new, and our romance is through. Yes, it is. Wanna throw your picture away. You didn't love me any old way. You found somebody new, and our romance is through. Let me tell you, some folks' love is hard and strong. That's the kind of love that lingers on. Some folks' love is swift and fast. That's the kind of love that'll never last. But we had a love that was in between, and to me it was like a dream. We had to stay together till June. got a problem wound up a groove. That's why I gotta get you off of my mind. I know it's just a matter of time. You found somebody new and all romance is through. Listen to me. Someday this old heart of mine is gonna find a love that'll make me shine. Shine like diamonds and gleam like gold. And I'll find someone that'll rock my soul. I gotta get you off of my mind. I know it's just a matter of time. You found somebody new and all romance is through. Listen to me. I gotta get you off of my mind. I know it's just a matter of time. Gotta get you off of my mind.
Right, we're back with Emily, and I hope you've been enjoying the show so far. If you have been enjoying the show, please do check out all of Emily's social media pages, etc., and tour dates and news of her new album coming out. So we're going to go back to some reggae and ska now. And Emily, what's your next reggae and ska choice?
So I have picked My Boy Lollipop by Millie Small because it's just a classic. It's off a compilation CD called Young, Gifted and Black. And I really wanted to pick Bob and Marcia, Young, Gifted and Black, but I kind of felt it was too obvious. I've overthought all these choices like so much. This reminds me of we went on a family holiday and it rained the whole time, but we took that compilation CD with us and my dad would play this song like every day. So I really liked it. And when I went to school, I was probably about, I don't know, like 6 or 7. And I went back to school and I was singing My Boy Lollipop and the Spice Girls had done a cover of it. So everybody was like, I know that song. And I was like, brilliant. Oh my gosh, how cool. You know this reggae song. And then when they played it to me, it was the Spice Girls, not maybe doing the best version of it ever. But I kind of felt like it was really cool. But I love this song. And she's great. I think she died like last year, not long ago. She didn't really have any other hits, but do you really need to when you've got this?
When you've got that, exactly. Like Peter Andre.
Yeah, like the reggae version of Peter Andre, exactly.
Cool,
Lovely.
nice one. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoy this one. Do you want to just introduce this one quickly then for the people?
This is Millie Small with My Boy Lollipop.
My boy lollipop, you make my heart go giddy up. You are as sweet as candy. You're my sugar dandy. Oh, my boy lollipop, never, never leave me, because it would grieve me. My heart told me so. I love you, I love you, I love you so. But I don't want you to know. I need you, I need you so. And I never let you go. My boy lollipop, you make my heart go giddy up. You set the world on fire. You are my one desire. Oh, my lollipop.
Cool, we're back here with Emily, and I hope you've been enjoying song choices, some really good choices so far. And so what's your next one, Emily?
So my next one is a song called Baby I'm Yours by a lady called Barbara Lewis. Again, it's off that same record that you're sitting next to.
All right, cool. Yeah.
How funny. I discovered this because the Arctic Monkeys, kind of like my generational band. I think they were like the big band when I was at school.
Yeah, yeah.
They did when they released their first album, they then released a one-off single on its own, called "Quick Let's Leave Before the Lights Come On."
I know the tune. Yeah,
You
yeah.
remember it? It has a really cool
I do.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I bought this, and you could only get it on like in like a paper CD. It wasn't like a proper plastic one; it's like a paper one. And this was the B-side. They did a cover of "Baby I'm Yours," and that is a really lovely cover. It's really, really nice. And I was like, wow, this is brilliant. But it wasn't like that kind of typical Alex Turner songwriting, because it was all, I don't know.
Yeah.
Alex Turner's quite observational as a songwriter, and this is all very much more lovey-dovey. So I found the original, and it's by this lady called Barbara Lewis, and it's really, really nice. But so listen to this, and also find the Arctic Monkeys version.
Arctic Monkeys.
Cool version.
That's always really cool when people do their own stamp on a cover as well, and then some people like think that's the original, and then you go back and then discover the original as well.
Yeah.
Always a really good thing to do as well, you know. But
they're quite good at covers as well. They do a John Cooper Clarke one.
Oh, cool! Yeah,
it's really cool. Like they.
I know what one you mean as well. John Cooper Clarke is another one of my poetic heroes. I love him as well. Yeah, he's got tapped into that whole kind of working class thing as well.
It's really cool, and I think he's from Manchester actually, and the Arctic Monkeys are from Sheffield. But it's got that kind of northern working class feel to their lyrics when you read it. Really cool, like really just total observational songwriting, which is what I think people really connect to, and that's why I knew that they probably hadn't written this, because this Barbara Lewis track, this is so like lovey-dovey and that kind of and a proper soul track. So it's great. If you haven't read John Cooper Clarke's book, you should. I think that's called "I Want to Be Yours," and that's really, like, it talks about when he was on heroin, how much he really misses it. He seems to be the only person that's like, he's not like, oh, and then I managed to get off drugs. He's like, oh, I got off drugs, but I really miss it.
Really miss it, yeah.
It's really funny. You should check it out.
Very Moorish.
Yeah. So this is Barbara Lewis with "Baby I'm Yours."
Baby, I'm yours, and I'll be yours until the stars fall from the sky. Yours until the rivers all run dry. In other words, until I die. Baby, I'm yours.
Right, cool. So we're back here with Emily, and now we're going to go back on the ska train and reggae train, and we're going to have a look at her last, I believe this is your last reggae choice, right?
Yeah, my last one, yeah.
Cool.
And I picked Junior Mervyn with "Police and Thief."
All right, cool, yeah. And why did you choose this one?
This was the Clash cover. The Clash did a cover of this.
Yeah.
I'm a massive Clash fan, and there's a Clash film called Rude Boy that they made. It's terrible, to be honest. They made it in like 1970, 77, 78.
Yeah.
And there's a bit where the bass player pulls him, and he goes back to his hotel room, and he's got one of those massive boom boxes. Have you ever seen one, like one of those proper beat like those ones that they used to break dance to in New York?
Yeah, and they put over their shoulder and stuff as well.
And they weigh a ton. They're huge, and they're carrying it over their shoulder, like they are massive. So he's got this thing, and he puts it down, and he goes into his hotel room, and he presses play, and it's this song. And I just think, and obviously, the Clash did a cover of it, and it's just such a great song. And the way that he delivers it, Junior Mervyn, it's kind of, I don't know how to describe it. I think because he's singing about police and thieves, it's kind of a lot more heartfelt. It's just a classic. I couldn't not pick it. It was the first choice I made.
Cool. And the actual vocal delivery style on this is where he's singing in that falsetto range as well.
Yes,
right? It's really clear, and it's And it's one of them ones where people, as soon as you hear it, you go, oh yeah, I know it's a classic.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
If you know that, yeah, and the Clash one as well. And like you said before, check out the Clash version as well. Which
they had to put it on their first album because of the Clash, because it's so quick. The first Clash album is like 45 minutes, 40 minutes. So they needed a really great big long song to like pad out the vinyl. So they covered this. So this is, compared to the rest of the tracks on the Clash album, this is like massive. But yeah, I kind of had to do a little nod to the Clash, and so that's why I picked this song.
Police and thieves in the street, fighting the nation with their guns and ammunition. Police and thieves in the street, oh yes, scaring the nation with their guns and ammunition. From Genesis to Revelations, yeah, but the next generation will be, hear me, all the crimes committed day by day. No one tried to stop it in any way. All the peacemakers turn war officers. Hear what I say. Hey, 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 hey. Police and thieves in the street. Oh yeah. Fighting the nation with their guns and ammunition. Police and thieves in the street. Oh yeah, scaring the nation with their guns and ammunition. Oh yeah. All the crimes committed day by day, no one tried to stop it in any way. All the peacemakers turn war officers. Hear what I say. Hey, 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 hey. Police and thieves in the street. Oh yeah, fighting the nation with their guns and ammunition. Police and thieves in the street. Oh yeah, scaring the nation with their guns and ammunition.
Hey, right, so we're here with Emily, and I hope you've been enjoying the show so far and her song choices. And I know we've got a nice little treat now for this one. So this is her last soul choice. So over to you, Emily. What have we got?
So I picked The Miracles, or Smokey Robinson and The Miracles with You've Really Got a Hold on Me.
Yeah.
I'm from North West London, and we go into West London. There's a place called the Ackland Village Hall, and it's just the bottom of Ladbroke Grove where they have Portobello Road Market.
Yeah.
And at the bottom, Portobello Road Market is quite famous because of like Notting Hill, like Hugh Grant film and that kind of thing in West London. But at the bottom, under the bridge, under the Westway, there's this guy called Graham, and he sells vinyl, and he sells CDs that have got 3 CDs within them, so it's like a collection, I'd say. And this is off one of those collections, and it's a 60s soul one. It's the first track, and this is obviously I think this is originally by the Beatles. I know it by the Beatles. I assume that it is a Lennon and McCartney. You've really got a hold on me. I know it by them.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yeah.
The Beatles have a version of this, and I assume it's Lennon and McCartney. But this is just such a lovely track. Obviously, Smokey Robinson can do no wrong with the Miracles. It's so cool. It's kind of almost doo-woppy, the way that it's got that cool and response to it. But such a smooth guy, such a smooth singer. It's really, really nice. And again, I'd probably say that this is like what I thought of first when you said soul, because you didn't say Northern Soul, you said soul as a bit thrown. Just soul. So, but yeah.
Yeah, it could have been Northern Soul as well. We've actually just featured I've just interviewed the Northern Soul girl last week,
right.
Lavanna. And she's done some amazing choices. That's what's nice about doing this as well, listening to some of your influences and stuff and your tunes, and it's I can take a little bit from that as well. It's inspiration, it's where you got it from. It's a nice.
But if you're ever over this way, if you're ever in West London on a Saturday, go down to Ladbroke Grove Market and go to this stall and get these compilations, because they are so good. And he does this thing, this guy, where he plays the beginning of the track, and he's like, any guesses? And I'm like,
that's really cool. Yeah.
It's so cool. So
you mean go through the tunnel? I can't go through the tunnel. I've got to stay southeast, mate.
Oh no, yeah, I know, right? But I thought when I cross that river, I just feel sick. I've got to get back.
Yeah, you've got to go the other way.
But yeah, this is definitely this was definitely a first track I thought of with soul. So this is a great song. So yeah, shall I introduce it?
Yeah, let's introduce it.
So this is the Miracles with You've Really Got a Hold on Me.
Smokey Robinson and the Miracles.
Sunny days will always follow me. Hey, now sweet, sweet Jamaican sky got me dancing up all night. Dancing until the morning light. Dancing, now sky got me dancing up all night. Yippee-yi-yi,
We're here with Emily, and you've been listening to some of her influences and some of her favourite ska and reggae and soul tunes. Now we're going to talk a little bit about her original music and how she got started first as well. So have you always like played the guitar and done songwriting from a young age as well? Like kind of what got you into creating music yourself?
Pretty much. I started playing the guitar when I was 11. Joe Strummer died when I was 10. And it's kind of like a big thing in my house. My brother's called Joe after Joe Strummer. And my parents are massive Clash fans. So we had a lot of the Clash on. And so from sort of, but yeah, as soon as Joe Strummer died, like a couple of months after, I went out and got a guitar. And then there was an open mic scene sort of locally to us, and I kind of did that. I couldn't play anyone else's songs because I wasn't good enough on
just
guitar.
The Clash, yeah.
I just did mine, or like I could do like a few Johnny Cash riffs and stuff.
Yeah. So when you have you got a writing process that when you write, you like, or you just doing what's coming out? What's your kind of subject of?
Yeah, I like to have a topic that I would write about lyrically. I'm not super hot on the guitar part. I work with my guitarist quite a lot, and he does a lot of that guitar, of the chords and the structure. But then I will write the melody and the lyrics and pick the topic. As a songwriter, I really like Kirsty McCall. I think she's a great female songwriter. She's quite tongue in cheek, and I'm quite tongue in cheek as well, like that. I like to write about things that are like, I've really tried really hard with the next album not to reference footballers as much as I did with the first one, but it's kind of like everyday life, and it's really easy to find things that rhyme with Harry Kane. So yeah, it's but I don't want to go too heavy on it this album, but so
we've been chatting about your new album, on the stuff that you've been doing on tour as well, and so what we'll do, we just finished with another one of your original tunes then, just like to just chat about this tune and how it came about. And thank you for being on the show.
Oh, thank you so much, Jay. It's been wicked. So this is the last track. This is one of mine. This isn't a collaboration. This is just me. This is a song called Bonanza. Bonanza was the first single from Combat Rock. It's really kind of got that doo-wop feel to it. As I keep going on and on about, I'm a massive Clash fan, and they had a song called Police and Thieves and Magnificent Seven. And I wanted to write a song with like a country and western style title. So I googled Bonanza. There used to be a TV show in the 70s with the coolest theme tune called Bonanza. And so I picked Bonanza, and then the song itself has got nothing to do with country and western. It's just the title. And at the time of writing, I was listening to a load of doo-wop, and there's a track by a band called the Earls. It's got that really cool doo-woppy call and response kind of beat to it. It's really great. And so I kind of, with a nod to them, I wrote Bonanza. And then afterwards, I found out that Bonanza was the name of the aeroplane that Buddy Holly was in when he died.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was in that plane with Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, and Richie Valens were in the plane. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's a sign. Like that's really cool. So I wrote Bonanza, and Bonanza did really well. We filmed the video for it in South Africa, which was bonkers.
Oh wow, South Africa.
Yeah, we flew out and we supported Texas in South Africa. And it was really, really cool. We were walking down one of those roads where they have a market and people keep trying to sell you stuff, and they're all in the video. It was like, we're going to be doing a video.
That's
like,
really cool.
Like like you can keep walking in it if you want it. And no problems, so they're in all in it as well.
So he's on the tour as well, and he was doing the one with Texas, and he also did the video as well. So he kind of got done 2 in 1 as well. So really, really good.
Yeah, we did Bonanza at the same time. So it was like, I can either film it where I live in Harrow in northwest London, or I can film it in South Africa. I think I know what I'm going to choose. So yeah, it was great. So this was the first single from Combat Rock, and I'm really pleased with it.
Bum 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 bonanza, bum 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 bum, bum bum bonanza, bum bum bum, bum bum bonanza, bum bum bum, bum bum bonanza, bum bum bum. You see those guys who avoid my eyes because I don't like a posh boy if he's high. But we'll be fine once again and in time. I'm just so aware of our class divide. Bum bum bum, bum bum bonanza, 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 bum bum bum. I don't love a cowboy, they're never good for you. But then again, I guess my West is sometimes blue. I don't go to uni, I try to build a family. Why even bother? I can't afford for you to get your degree. Just watch bum bum bum, bum bum bonanza. Ooh, ooh. Is it easy being you because it looks it? And did you take one just cause he might have took it? I've got a photo of Joe Strummer on my camera, and then we'll all go home and we'll watch some bonanza. Bum bum bonanza, bum bum bum, 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 bum bum bonanza. So I believe you're going to play Dread Town, which is a collaboration I did with Dread Zone. This came out. When did this come out? A couple of months ago now. Yeah, and it's on their. They do a collection album, and this is on their Dubwiser Volume 2 collection. And I've got 3 tracks in. He was like, "Will you write this song?" And I wrote a track called Flamingo with them. And then they were like, "We've got this other song. It's got a Bubba Brooks, which is the ska hook. It's got that in it, the Bubba Brooks sample of their track Girls Town." So we wrote Dread Town. And every song they have has got the word dread. It's so hard because it's like Dread Zone and Dread Town, and they do Dread Times, and they've got Dread, all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But they're really cool. They were a blessing in lockdown, man. So I started working with them, and we're touring that album now. I'm out on tour with them at the moment, which is really good fun. So Dread Town was wicked. Don Letts did the video as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, the video seems a real fun experience as well. Seems like a really happy kind of video when you watch it and that as well.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Cool. We tried to introduce, so in the lyrics we introduced the band, and so in the video we wanted to do the same thing. It was so much fun. It was so amazing working with Don Letts as well. So really, really cool. I hope that and as you said, I hope that does come across in the song and the video.
And how's the touring going as well? Have you started that as well? Did you say?
Yes. We have touring with Dread Zone. I mean, I like to be on time, stick to my little routine, get there, sound check, then you know what I mean.
Definitely.
Dread
Even
Zone.
Today doing this, you was on it on time.
Totally, that's me.
I was 2 minutes late, I think.
No, but with Dread Zone, they're like, yeah, we'll do that in a little while. It'll be fine. Yeah, if we do sound check, we'll be fine. Oh, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, we got to get on the stage. So I took over from touring with the Selector. So we've got Pauline Black. She runs a tight ship. She's there when she needs to be, and then you get to Dread Zone and they're like, oh yeah, we'll just have a cigarette and then we'll go on, and
then we'll do it just all chilled.
Yeah, totally different, but they're the best. They've been amazing. They're wicked.
Cool.
So this is Dread Town with Dread Zone and me. Oh my gosh, that's so hard.
This is Dread Town.
This one is the one they call Dead Sound, and the one is Emily Capell. We the sound of the people. All the business is coming your way. Good luck.
just like Emily. Clenched fists, give a twist from here to eternity. Right. Together, I gotta keep it together. I'll be on the never, never, forever. Pull the trigger, go bang, bang, bang. All I wanna do is dance with you. Whatever. Pull yourself together. It's not too clever. I surrender. Pull that trigger, go bang, bang, bang.
This town don't come like a ghost town. You can never argue around. Dread Town is the best town. Let them hear this sound. With a little lump of family, say we got the vibe and we keep it live with the mental music on me.
On a mission, baby, listen, the beat drops on the 3. Easy kill, the bass is ill. I can be